So here we are at the family meet. And here we get the opportunity to discuss, with family and friends, connected by blood or friendship, and sharing what it means, how important our family is, the profound importance of it, and share some heartfelt stories about some of the experiences we've had. And at the heart of our conversation is the simple reality that we as human beings are all part of one family. And with that said, I have the rare opportunity, privilege, and honor to have an interview with one of my greatest friends on planet Earth, Mr. or should I say Dr. Tony Collins. Tony Collins, how you doing, bro?
I'm great. I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, this dude I have known for decades. I'm almost afraid to say how long I've known this guy, but in the
Uh,
course of our experience, it's always been a journey of discovery. He is actually the first guy to actually introduce me to Christ. One of the first people to introduce me to Christ that set me on a completely new trajectory in my life's
yeah,
journey. So I'm eternally grateful to you for that. But I want you to
yes.
introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, Tony.
Okay. Well, I'm Tony. Well, Anthony Collins. Um, I'm the eighth child of eight people that my mother had.
Whoa.
I'm the caboose. I'm the last one. Six boys, two girls. I grew up in a family watching my brothers, do music. Most of my brothers either sang, was in a band, played guitars or bass. So music was a part of my life from the very, very, very beginning. Just
Mm.
hearing it, being around it back in the 60s, hearing the Motown, my brothers rehearsing in the living room. My mom was making their little costumes for the shows and stuff. But that's what I came up around being under that a lot. So music has definitely, and out of the eight of us, I think I'm the only one that's still, well, I got one other brother that's still really, take music as a release part of their life. So, and that's just been a part of me. So,
Can you tell me about what are some of the greatest challenges that you face in your musical career? Because based on what I understand, I've been watching you on Facebook and
mhm.
Instagram and every places where you're demonstrating you've got a connection with people who I don't know that you represent them, but there are other artists that you help to cultivate and bring into the space. Can you tell us about those experiences and what some of the challenges that you face in doing what you do?
Well, yeah, I mean, music by always been a part of me. It's just a part of my life. It's just like eating and sleeping. It's just what I do. So, as I've grown older and matured in the business, I just learned other aspects of the business. So, yeah, right now I'm into the managing. I never thought I'd be managing an artist. Um, So right now, I devote a lot of time to managing two different artists. A young lady by the name of The Legend, that's DE Legend, and a young lady by the name, she goes by the name of Big Cat, Big Cat. And they actually on two different platforms because one is more of a rapper and one's a R&B vocalist. So it's two different things, and they're young, but I see their energy. I see their same thing I see that was in me or it was in me. I see that in them. The biggest challenge has always been. I mean, the biggest challenge is you want to let the world know you're not doing this. You want to share what you do.
Hmm.
So I think the biggest challenge is just getting your stuff out there. To me, that's the biggest challenge. And now it's easier now with the technology that we have. Hey, you got
Dude,
Instagram. You can go in the bedroom tonight and write a song, and it'll be across the world tonight, tomorrow,
wow.
whatever.
Mm.
So yeah, the technology is just blowing my mind. Is what you can do now from what it used to be.
Let me ask you a
So
question, Tony. As a manager, what kind of things do
mhm.
you find yourself engaging in? And I'm not sure I'm clear on what managers do, but when you actually are representing the client, I know that you put together some content. I don't know whether or not you have them doing some of your tunes or what have you, but what do you do as a manager in terms of your job, your responsibility?
Well, yeah, really, that's how it started. To manage, I was just looking for somebody to sing my songs because I be more writing. I'm doing more writing, right? And I was coming up with a lot of music, a lot of songs that had no artist because I'm not trying to be an artist anymore. I'm not trying to be on the
Hmm.
stage anymore. So it's like, okay, I got these songs, I got this equipment to record the songs. I need somebody to sing them. And in doing that, in that endeavor, I ran into the two people that I'm working with now,
Mm,
and not to manage them. It was just, hey, I just wanted to record my songs, right? But in doing that, I saw that they were missing something, and just guidance. How, I mean, things you should be doing. So I just found myself doing a lot of things that I thought they should be doing.
mm,
Now that I have this other part that I needed, I saw some things that they needed.
mm,
So yeah, so the going back to the technology, they need to use the technology. I'm like, hey, you need to be getting content out here. You need to be getting video clips. You need to be getting pictures out here. People need to see you. You need to be on TikTok. So all these things now, I'm trying to help them get that together.
mm,
But photographers, videographers,
mm,
content. We are driven on a content system now. The streaming system has just changed the world, I'm sure, not only in music, but everything. It's everywhere. So
mm.
yeah.
Well, I want you to share with us a second. I want you to share with us some of your greatest wins you have. But one win I got to speak on is this. Dude, you sent me a song right around Christmas, and it was
Mhm.
a song, The World Needs Christmas. Dude, I've been singing that song ever since you sent it to me. It's something
Really?
that you wrote many years ago. And when you and I had a chance to have a conversation recently, you talked about how you leveraged some technology to make that happen. Please dig into that and just tell us about that and some of your other wins, because that one is a hit for sure.
Yeah, man. Uh, okay. Well, let me go back. I have a friend. Most of my friends are into music. So when my friends call me like at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh, I got this AI system. You got to download it on your phone, man. It's gonna take your lyrics and make a song in 30 seconds. I'm like, huh? Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, it's an AI system. Download it on your phone. You put your lyrics in it, and it's gonna give you your song back, man. And with the music, the singer, everything. I was like, so I got up that morning and started doing it, playing with it. I'm getting the film. I'm like, oh, okay. Mind you, now this is about maybe 2 weeks before Christmas.
Uh-huh.
So in doing that, I'm like, wow, this is really a good tool for a writer like myself to have. I'm like, this. I never thought I'd be able to have a tool in my hands like this, Bob.
What was it called?
The
The tool.
app.
What is it called? Yes.
It's top secret, man. Can't be telling
Oh,
people
okay.
about it. No, I'm
Keep it
just
on
kidding.
lock, man.
Everybody like, hey man, stop telling people about this, man. No, but it's called Suno. 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 I'm sure a lot of people know about it by now, but it's probably a lot of people that still don't know about it. So
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
starting. And my wife is telling me, "Hey, stop telling everybody about this."
Like a secret weapon, man, for
Oh,
real.
right? What you telling everybody? What you? I'm like, yeah, but anyway, by it being around Christmas when he gave me that information about the app, I said, well, man, let me start pulling out some of my old songs. And I thought about, this Christmas song I had written, and it was called "The World Needs Christmas." And I'm like, well, let me put "The World Needs Christmas" into this app and see what it does. And that's what I ended up sending you because it just blew
Mm.
me away. I'm like, man, yeah. We listen to Jingle Bells and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We talk about everything, but that's why I wrote the song is that the world needs Christmas to remind us of what God gave.
Hmm.
So
Right.
yeah, let's use Christmas as a to stir your memory about what happened if you don't
Hmm.
know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what that is. Mhm.
Man, that is
Yeah,
off the chart.
yeah.
Based on what you're doing now, where do you see yourself going in the future?
Wow. Uh, Definitely using the technology. Like I say, the technology that app has given me, I like to compare it to somebody giving you a GPS system when you never knew what a GPS system was. Can
Hmm.
if you can go back in your mind when GPS didn't exist, when you ask somebody the address to where you need to go and they just told you, oh, 4528 South, the Bosque. Hey, back in the day, you had to be like, okay, what day you get on 94 East and you get off on 95 South, whatever, and all these directions. Now, with this tool to make music, it's like putting my music in GPS now, and it just takes me there at the
Mm.
speed of GPS, bro.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it's
Wow.
like, what? I mean, I'm still saying this is crazy. But yeah, that's my thing now, man. To use this tool that God has given us, man, because it's not only to us. I mean, AI is affecting us in so many ways. We probably don't
Hmm.
even think about how much AI is in our lives right now.
Right.
It's here.
Mm. Now,
It's here.
one of the reasons why I asked to have this conversation with you is because, I have a family meeting. We have a regular family meeting. I want to share your information because you're a member of my family. You're a member,
Yep.
eternally a
Mhm.
member of my family. But I
Yes,
wanted to
I
have an
remember your
opportunity.
sisters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I wanted
Yeah.
to share your information with them as well because several of the people in my family have aspirations to move into that space. And they,
Yeah.
without having to go through all the learning curves, can glean vicarious knowledge from people like you, seasoned veterans in the business that understand some of the ins and outs. So I really, really appreciate you having this conversation. Something that you said to me the other day that I thought was extremely profound, and I want you to share that story about how you kind of groomed your children with your music. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that
Oh,
works, man?
oh, yeah. Well, we got to go way, way back. Now, going back to my promiscuous teenage years, I became a father. I became a father no, I take that back. I got married at 18.
Mm.
Uh, I was already with child. I had a daughter, and my second daughter was on the way. So I had a daughter and a half. Had a daughter and a half at 18, right?
Wow.
But, and I'm in high school. So, but what I was sharing with you that I always took being a father very, 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 very serious. That's something. Even back then, because I'm looking at it like, man, I get a chance to mold a human being from his very, conception. I need, that to me that was mind blowing. It
Mm.
was almost like thinking in that Joe Jackson type.
Hmm.
I was like that father, but I didn't try to force them into music or anything. That wasn't my thing. But it was more. I was a little bit deeper than trying to give them a career. I was focusing on giving them a real life.
Hmm.
Just real. That's how I put my hands in it. But now the way I did it, or what in my conception was to use music. So I would write songs for them to sing when they were like 5 and 6 years old. I had a song I
Hmm.
wrote. My daddy didn't raise no fool. He sent me to Sunday school. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
my mama taught me the golden rules. And these little things like that, little like, songs. And I had
Hmm.
my little recording studio equipment that existed at that time, probably a little
Hmm.
cassette tape that recorded 4 tracks or something like that. And yeah, songs like that. I wrote a song called Special Girl. You a
Mm.
special girl. To this day, my children remember these. My daughters, they ain't children now. My daughter, well, they still my children, but my daughters remember these songs. They're in their 40s now, but
Hmm.
they remember. They can sing these songs verbatim. I'd be like, wow. I'll be like, Dad, you still remember that? Yeah. You a special girl. Yeah, I have my little girls. But anyway, that was my way because I looked at them as being like hard drives on a computer.
Hmm.
You install the software. You
Hmm.
install, and I always looked at that as my way of installing onto their hard drives.
Mm. That's phenomenal, man.
If it ain't on the hard drive, bro, it ain't gonna run.
Right. Right.
If you
Right.
or we can say it like this now: if you ain't got the app on your phone, how you gonna pull something up if you ain't got the app on your phone? Because
That's
all
right.
the app is really doing is installing the information on the hard drive that's in your
Right.
phone.
Right.
So
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I see.
It
Yeah.
it's that install thing. So and through God, I mean through the grace of God, they have turned out to be beautiful, wonderful, creative, got their stuff together human beings.
Mm. Mm. That's
Yeah,
fantastic,
so I'm
man.
like, hey, I don't take no credit, but all I can say is I was installing on the hard drive, bro. That's
You
all I
planted
say.
some seed. You planted some
I
seed.
played, yeah, you did, yeah.
Well, let
Say it
me ask
like
you
that.
this, Tony. In terms
Yes.
of your family, because you mentioned you have a big family, your core family is huge. I don't know how big
Mhm.
your extended family is, but in terms of your family, what things do you guys do as a family to kind of support each other or encourage one another, or is there something that you do in order to continue to cultivate that family bond?
Well, Bob, I mean, it's funny. We started a family reunion in like I think 1987, I want to say,
Hmm.
and I was there because I'm always been into technology. I was there with my big old video camera.
Mm, mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I had a video camera look like Channel Two News. I'm out there, you know, I'm recording this event, and that was just the beginning of meeting my dad's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Met a lot of my dad. Matter of fact, a lot of the cousins that I kick it with now, I met then.
Mm.
But we were already in our 20s and 30s. I would have never knew. And they were right here in Gary, Indiana. I mean, they were
Really?
right here. Didn't really know them.
Mm-hmm.
But and I love that whoever thought of that, whoever the eldest that thought of that, which was my grandmother, my dad's mom, she thought about that. And some of her cousins and everything, and brothers, my uncles, they thought to do that. That was such a
Mm-hmm.
great thing, man. Any family that's not having a family reunion, man, do it. Because the family grows so fast. Because
Mm-hmm.
now we got that side of the family thing going. We still do that to this day. So it's like 30 some years now, 40 years of doing it. Um, but now we're looking at our own immediate family, how it's just like
Mm.
my kids now, they get, and my brother's
Right.
kids. And it's like, and some of my brother's kids, they don't be going to the big reunion that I go to that started back in
Mm-hmm.
'85. They don't go, like I'll go to different states and different cities. They don't do that. So they miss that. I still desire to do that every year. They don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So now me and my brothers, we're looking at, well, why we got to make it sure that our
Mm-hmm.
kids know their kids, because they know they second
Right.
and third
Right.
cousins.
Right.
So yeah, that's the key thing. So yeah, to answer your question, family reunion is a key thing. Use the technology like you doing now with this. We do some Zoom in meetings sometimes. I do that with my grandchildren
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. I
Mm-hmm.
had them. I saw my grandchildren because now I'm looking at them. It's like it starts to repeat. So now I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to help my children raise their children, and they're
Mm-hmm.
going through a whole different world
Really?
than my children that I was dealing with. So I know I can only imagine. I just shake my head. I'm like, "Woo, boy."
Dude.
I'm like,
Well,
"Woo, boy."
based on your
Y'all,
experiences, based on your experiences, if you had something that you could share with the generations to come, what would be one of the most valuable pieces of information or things that you would share with those generations that are coming?
whew. Uh, well, since I've been talking about the technology part so much, and God had to slap me upside the head and say, "Hey, hey, hey, don't get it confused. I'm number one all the time. I don't care what you get excited about that the world is, through technology brought to you in your hands. I'm number one.
Right.
Don't
Right.
ever forget AI, going back to the AI part, AI is artificial intelligence, okay? Look at the words. Artificial. Now, when we go to the store, right? You ever find yourself you going to get the vegetables and you see some of this? Oh, this is organic, and this is the unorganic. Right now, you sit up here trying to make your decision. Well, I find myself 9 times out of 10 desiring to get the organic. I
Mm.
want the real.
Mm-hmm.
I want the untouched.
Mm-hmm.
These people meeting people on dating lines. I mean, cool. If that works for you, cool. But if I was dating, I would want organic.
Mm-hmm.
I want to meet you the regular way. You know what I'm saying? Not to not. I mean, I love the technology, but God, like I said, God taught me
Dude.
to don't get it confused. So that's what I would tell the because I know my children and my grandchildren and my great grand are going to see some more amazing
Mm-hmm.
things to you in your eyes. But
Right.
don't ever forget God is real.
Really
And
profound.
everything that ever happens is every good thing is from God.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So that's what I would push.
Dude,
Yeah.
I want to just touch on that because the reality is that whoever came up with the technology, they had to get that inspiration from God. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of lights, with whom there's no variableness, neither shadow of turning. They had to get it from somewhere. So you are spot on with that, man, for real.
And like you just said last week when we were talking, for whatever reason, God is speeding up things.
Yep.
God wants us to do things faster. Maybe I don't know. Maybe God's like, okay, y'all been moving slow too long. I'm finna bump this up a little bit, and I will attribute it to God. Like you said, that's God. That's a good thing. Speed is good in the right hands.
Right, right, right.
Because speed in the wrong hands can be bad, bro. I don't know if you
You're
drive
right.
on these expressways sometimes, but some people don't need speed. They missing the whole point.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They get
Well,
careless with speed, and we have to be careful with this technology. Don't get careless with the speed.
right. Powerful, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Powerful. Well, I will
yeah.
say this. I know that you know a lot of the members in my family. We used to actually work together where my mom actually used to
I
work
know,
there.
mom. Yep.
And my
Dorothy,
sisters, my
Gwen.
brother used to work there too. So you know people
Yeah,
in my family. So I'm
yeah,
gonna ask you this from a personal perspective. If there was something
yeah,
that you could share with my family, what would you share that you might think to be of value to them?
yeah. Into your family, into family. I just believe in family, Rob.
I
I'm
love that,
just
man.
like from the beginning, man. Um, Understanding, I find, is the biggest thing with inside of my family. I can just deal with it within inside my family.
Mm-hmm.
The better I understand someone that I love,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and that's the key thing, to take time to understand. A lot of times we
Mm-hmm.
can't try to understand everybody in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that. But people that are close to you, family, we have a little more deeper insight on them
Right.
already anyway. We know
Right.
Uncle James, we know Aunt Louise, we know some of where they came from,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know some of their roots. And that's how you get understanding, is to know the roots of where they came from.
Mm.
Because I often find myself questioning, even some of my bad attributes, like, where did that come from? I ask myself, sometimes you got to do a little self perspective to introspective. So,
Mm.
and that's what I would share with anybody and the family people that you love, to understand them, because
Mm.
sometimes may do things to make you say, "Huh." Because they're people too. We are
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Your
That's
cousin
right.
is people. Your auntie is people. They're just people having their own human experience.
Mm-hmm.
And to understand, okay, where did that come from? Rather than, sometimes we react rather than try to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't do that with everybody.
Right.
Can't do that with everybody. But
Mm.
family, sometimes you got to go a little extra mile with family.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I got to grab. Okay, I can get my arms around that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And as well as I ask you to get your arms around me. So those are the things. Just to love each other just a little different. And I use that word loosely, and I don't want to use it loosely, but to love each other like in a special way. In
I
a
get it.
special way. Yeah.
That's good, man. That's
Yeah.
that's priceless right there. Well,
Yeah.
Tony, I really appreciate you taking out this time to share with us your insights
No
and your
problem.
information, dude. For
I love it.
me, I get goosebumps when I listen to you talk about some of your experiences as well.
Oh,
But can you
yeah.
tell us how can people get access to some of your content? Because I'm okay with my family, that's all. How can people get
Yeah.
access
Oh,
to some of
yeah.
your stuff, man?
The world need Christmas. Look, I want that to be the biggest Christmas song. I want that to be bigger than Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas. That song should be a. I sent it to my fact. After I sent it to you, I sent it to my sister in Atlanta. She's raising her grandkids,
Mm,
and I told her, I'm like, hey, sis, say play this song. I wrote this song 30 years ago. Whoa, I play it around the house description. She did. She said, I love it. Whoa, whoa. So yeah, I haven't really promoted it though, Bob. Now, going back to how you can get in contact with me, I'm on Instagram. Um, I'll share that with you later, because like I
okay.
said, Instagram, I'm still kind of getting my
Okay.
address and all that together. So those are
All
the
right.
things I'm working on.
Okay.
But definitely on Instagram, I'm trying to get more content so you can
Hmm.
see me and what I do and I
Right.
do have some stuff out there, but I had to give you my address later.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
we would definitely want to be able to tap into the products that your people that you're managing to create, right? So
Yes.
definitely, I'll
Yes.
share that information. Once you share it with
Absolutely.
me, I would share it with my people so that they can say, okay, I actually know this guy. This guy's family, right? Dude,
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that, man. And are there any closing words that you have as we wrap up this session of our family?
Let me see. What I would like to say, you've tapped on two of my biggest loves, and that's family and music. Those are the loves of my life right there, bro. It's like my right and left foot right there. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you bringing me on, man. I appreciate you considering me, having me speak to the fam. and I don't know. I like also like to share real quick too. I used to go to the prison ministry with my mother-in-law years ago. I think I might did I take you with there
Dude,
with me
you
one
and
time?
I went there together. We
Yeah,
did with Mother York back
with
in the
Mother York.
day.
Yes, yes, yes. And and that was out of my heart. My heart has always been, even outside of my family, to say something to people outside of my family. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I was so on fire for God at that time, Rob. You know, you met me in my life, bro, when I was like a burning bush, bro.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You was getting close to holy ground when you came back. Bro. You didn't- like, oh, well, we ain't gonna take up with no demons today. But I mean, when you met me in my life, and I was probably about what, 26,
Yeah.
27 years old,
Yeah.
man, and I was so just, I had just taken it all in uh, as a young man at that time. And you met
Hmm.
me, I was reading my Bible every day. I was at work with my Bible, in the lunchroom with my Bible, in the break room with Bible, in the locker room with Bible. I was just, hey, they're like, Tony, put the Bible down. Like, hey, man, you know. So that's when you met me, right? And man, that was a fire. That was fire. Not to say that the fire is gone, but I've just gone through so much life and living since then. And
Hmm.
God just takes you through so much, man. But it's good to have a fire. It's good to know the fire was like burning hot, and burn anything. But anyway, yeah, I took you to the prison ministry with me that during that period of time to go to Cook County Jail and talk to young brothers back there with their little khaki suits on and just
Hmm.
tell them, man, hey, bro, look, you on the sideline of a football game right now, bro.
Hmm.
You on the sideline. It ain't over. You got to get back out there in the game.
Hmm.
Look at this as an opportunity to make your plans before
Hmm.
you go back out there on the field.
Hmm. Dude, that's
Get your get,
powerful.
get your game plan before you going back on the field. Get a game plan so when you get out there you can win.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dude.
So yeah.
I remember that time. There's something that stood out profoundly for me in that experience was there were times when we would go and we would speak in a little cutout. And the prisoners were in that area, they're like a common area, and they didn't
Yeah.
have to listen to us. They could have
No.
turned the TV on, they could have went to their cell, they didn't have to listen to us. But for
Right.
you to have the audacity and for God to stir us with the boldness to say, I got something to say, and I'm
Right.
gonna say it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna captivate your attention. You'll not feel like you can't get away. And that's the kind of attraction and captivation I felt with Mother York and yourself talking to
Yes.
these people, man, because we were there with a boldness there. You know, do you have a right to be here infiltrating my space? But
Right.
dog, we were
And
connected with them and we wanted to give them something of value. And that
yes.
passion was communicated. They felt it and they gravitated towards it. This dude really cared.
And Bob, and God allowed us to work with one of the greatest giants in that.
Woo wee,
We
man.
call her name is, you can look her up, Consuela York. They started calling her Mother York.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
he
her
was
first
a
name was
giant
Consuela York, man. That lady was a giant
for real, like Mother
for
Teresa.
God and in dealing with that was her heart. She did
Yep,
that all 365. She was
yep.
doing that. We were just coming in once every first Saturday of the month. We would
Right,
go first
right.
Saturday of the month. That was her. If we get a little tip of it. But to even work with her, man, it's funny because I guess a different type of voice. But I was in a gas station one day during that period of time, maybe about during that era, and I was getting some gas. I'm at the give me 15 on pump five, right? I'm at back paying for my gas. And this guy behind me said, "Hey man," I turned around. He said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you used to go to Cook County Jail talk?" I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Man, I was there, man.
Wow.
I remembered your voice." Now I've had my back to this guy. He said, "I remembered you." But
Dude.
that's just amazing, man. That we just don't know how you touch people, to be concerned about people.
Hmm.
And that's what you're doing now, Rob. You're being concerned about people. And we don't know without concern and showing our concern. So to the family, I say, man, stay concerned. Stay concerned
Mm.
about the family. Stay concerned about the little ones. Stay concerned about what they listening to with their headphones on. Stay concerned about what they listening to, and because they got their head like this all day. When I'm
Hmm.
around my grandkids, I still come and stand behind them. Hey, what's that? What you doing? What you looking? What that is? Tell me about it. What is it? I mean, come on. I be serious. Like, put me up on what y'all doing, because I want to stay in contact with. Don't let them get too far from us, even with their their technology.
Mhm.
Don't let those little ones get too far from us where
Mhm.
we got this golf, we got a golfing age, but we don't have to
Yeah.
have a golf in our mind about what they're sucking up. So,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, Bob, appreciate
Dude.
it, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna
Yeah,
leave with that word, man. That was a powerful word. Stay concerned. With that
yeah.
said, Tony Collins, I just want to thank you for taking this time out to share
Love you,
with
man.
me, with my family, with whoever else. And I encourage you to share this with some of your people as well, because I'm sure that there's a lot of jewels in what you say that's gonna resonate with some people, man. For real.
Oh
I
yeah,
just want to say thank you. And I love you. And I'm not
love you,
ashamed to
bro.
say it.
Love
All
you, love
right,
you,
bro.
love you, love you. Okay,
Signing
bro.
off, my
Appreciate it.
friend. Bye.
Peace, peace. All right.